And so here we are on the dawn of 1992. A good time, we thought, to take a look back at a man whose time has just passed. But as Judd Rose found out, what a time it was.
In Times Square, this was the morning after. The ball had dropped, the cheering had stopped, and the crowds had gone home. A year ends, and everyone comes here to say goodbye. But an era ends, and no one even notices.
I guess this is it. I don't believe it. I mean, I'm going into exile, sort of.
Meet the mayor of 42nd Street. That's what everyone calls Dick Falk. After all, until he was evicted last month, Falk had spent 60 years in Times Square, the last 20 in an office overlooking 42nd and Broadway. At age 80, he's the last of the great Broadway press agents, or as he prefers to put it, a liar for hire.
Nobody hires me to tell the truth. I mean, if a girl is an ugly woman, I'm going to write she's an ugly girl? What did I write about Streisand? That she has slow eyes, like an Egyptian.
How much of what you say and do should we believe?
50% of what I write is true.
50%.
I won't call it a lie, but I call it a, what's another word for a lie?
So what you do is you sort of decorate.
I decorate it. Oh, I never heard that word yet. I heard dissembling and all that. But decorate, you know, you want to be a press agent.
Of course, lying's a time-honored tradition in Falk's business. You may remember the film Sweet Smell of Success that featured a PR man named Sidney Falco. Lying was one of his good points.
Mr. Falco, whom I did not invite to sit at this table tonight, is a hungry press agent and fully up to all the tricks of his very slimy trade. Match me, Sidney.
Falco was pretty hateful. Even so, Dick Falk loves to boast that he was the inspiration. In the movie, here's this press agent who's willing to do everything short of selling his mother to get a client's name in the paper. Now, would you have done that?
Close to it. Yeah, not my mother, maybe my aunt, my grandmother.
Well, Falk's never gone that far, but he has dragged a cross up Broadway to promote a gospel show. To hype hot dogs, he once put a model in a weenie bikini. And there was the time he was hired to flack for a flea circus.
Yes, I did work for a flea. The Great Herman was his name. I said, what can I do with a flea? What's the opposite of a flea? The Waldorf. Of course. I called the Waldorf. I said, I'm a public relations person, and I have an acrobat. He doesn't speak a word of English, but I'd like a single for him.
Falk alerted the press, put the flea on a leash, and went to see the lady at the front desk of the Waldorf.
And she said, would you have the Great Herman sign in? So I put him on a register, and it started to move around, the little thing there. And she said, would you have the Great Herman sign in, please? I said, he is. She said, what do you mean? I said, he's a flea. And she took the book. And she didn't, though. I grabbed him. I said, you almost killed him. She said, get this man out.
They don't make them like that anymore, and for good reason. Falk is a remnant of the heyday of Broadway, the New York of Damon Runyon and Walter Winchell. Back then, this town was open all night. Every joint from the Stork Club to the Topo was filled with pushy publicists ready to bend the ear of a friendly newspaper man. Over the years, Falk claims to have promoted everyone from Salvador Dali to Jane Mansfield. And for about 2 months in the early 60s, an unknown singer from Brooklyn.
I took her around, and I did stunts with her. I had her stand upside down.
You stood her on her head?
Practically. I got a picture. I'll show it to you.
And so what was the result of that stunt?
It broke all over the country.
For Barbara Streisand, the rest is history. These days, Falk's clients are more along the lines of Charlotte von Vogt. And what have you been promoting about Charlotte?
Her breasts.
Her breasts?
Yes.
Well, why not? Falk tells us she's the world's top bra model.
I managed to get it into the Washington Post, so...
That you were the world's top bra model?
Well, that, and more importantly, that I had the most beautiful breasts in the world.
I see. Now, was that an official title? Did somebody judge those breasts?
Yeah, Dick Falk.
She has the measurements of the Venus de Milo up in the Met Museum.
Now, how do you know...
I went up with a tape measure.
To who, Charlotte or the Venus?
To the Venus.
Explain to me the benefit of being known as having the world's most beautiful breasts. What does that do for you?
I think it'll stick in people's memories for a while.
May I say one word? Might I just interject one concept at this juncture? What about my one-legged tap dancer? Hey, take him for a weekend. My one-legged... All right, my one-arm juggler.
Not for my hotel.
A lot of the kind of people that Dick represents, I would say, are similar to Broadway Danny Rose types, the kind of pathetic eccentrics.
That's Baird Jones, another Falk client. Jones is a professional party thrower. We went with Falk to one of his parties at a club in downtown Manhattan.
Oh, come in.
If Dick's clients are pathetic eccentrics, he had plenty to choose from here.
What are you, or who are you?
Does he go to things like this all the time?
All
Is
the
this his
time.
nightlife? He shows up all the time, and he stays late, too.
Did you see Marla Maple? No, she's inside, I think. Oh, yeah? Yeah. She's waiting for you.
The Copa, it ain't.
I love this dirty town.
In recent years, that sweet smell of success has gone sour. Times and Times Square have changed. I mean, the glamorous 42nd Street that you promoted all these years.
Yes.
Now look around. I see runaways. I see hookers. I see the homeless. It's not a
Why
very...
do they come here, though?
Why?
You see, what? It must be comfortable. They don't come here because it's bad. They come here because they like it.
Ever the publicist, Falk tries to put a gloss on reality. But the sad and simple truth is that this fabled avenue faded long ago. To fix that, the state of New York has a $2.5 billion redevelopment plan in the works.
All they want to do is build. And the do-gooders, they got nothing else to do, so they pick a street, any street, you know, and try to have a little fun for a little while, clean it up.
Part of what they're cleaning up, or tearing down, is the building where Falk had his office. All the tenants were evicted, but he refused to go, forcing the state to keep the building open just for him. For a while, Falk was the only one left in the entire 12-story building. Naturally, it made all the papers. This is Dick Falk, after all. But in the end, a court order was issued, and finally, it was over. On that last day, Falk got a check from the redevelopment agency.
Now, do I sign here?
Packed up a few things, and headed out toward a new office uptown.
It's a strange thing. What am I? I'm going to be 80. And I spent my life here, and I devoted it to the theater, entertainment, unusual Broadway plays and all that there. And while I'm not leaving the scene, I feel like I'm gone. And I'm looking and no one's here.
Dick Falk is the last of them. Winchell and Runyon and all the rest, now just ghosts of a gaudy, glamorous age. Oh, they'll put up some nice new buildings around Times Square, and they'll open some new shows, and the neon will glow so bright, you'll probably never notice that one of the lights of Broadway has just gone out. We can talk now for a couple hours.
Yeah, very good.
We've had some fascinating discussions. How much of what you just told me is true?
50%. I guarantee it, though.
And don't forget to watch 2020 tomorrow night. And later tonight on Nightline, Making American History Politically Correct.